The Raiders had 2 weeks to prepare for this Minnesota Vikings team, and we weren't able to get no points. And I like to put this blame on two guys: our offensive coordinator, Bo Hardegree, and also our quarterback, Aidan O'Connell. What this game showed us, that we need a quarterback. Aidan O'Connell is not the guy. What's up, Raider Nation? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to this channel and you would like to support this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Also, like the video, hit that bell so you're notified every time I come out with a brand new video. And also, leave me a comment. It helps the channel grow at an alarming rate. Well, Raider Nation, our Las Vegas Raiders lost 3-0 to the Minnesota Vikings. And honestly, the worst game I've ever seen our Raiders play. And that says a lot, guys. You know, we've had quarterbacks like Andrew Walter, Aaron Brooks, Marcus Tuiasosopo, Kerry Collins, Derek Carr, the list goes on. And all those guys were able to manage at least 3 points in a single game. So for us to not even score any points is disgusting. I'm beyond frustrated. I did not see this coming in no way, shape, or form. The Raiders had 2 weeks to prepare for a terrible opponent. And our defense showed up. Our defense only allowed 3 points, through the first 3.5 quarters. We did not allow any points. Then they pulled Josh Dobbs. In comes Nick Mullins. And of course, he marches right down the field and they managed to get a field goal. That was very disgusting. I really can't believe that our offense wasn't able to score any points. It was also said that Antonio Pierce brought in 3 ex-head coaches to sit on the meetings. 2 of them being Marvin Lewis, the ex-head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, and also Tom Coughlin, a Super Bowl winning head coach of the New York Giants. He was the coach of Antonio Pierce when Antonio Pierce was a Giant. And what do these 3 coaches all have in common? They're all defensive-minded guys. And don't get me wrong, our defense definitely showed up this week, only allowing 3 points. But I don't think our offensive guys got the hint. I don't think we got any offensive input because we weren't able to muster any points. That's terrible. For us to have 2 weeks to prepare for a shitty Minnesota Vikings team and we couldn't score any points. In the second half, we didn't even get a first down. Why didn't we bring in Jimmy Garoppolo? People are saying that if Jimmy were to come in and if he were to get hurt, his contract would be fully guaranteed. And that's why we didn't put him in. Well, that's bullshit. I thought we were trying to win here. With this loss, that pretty much kills our playoff hopes. There's no way in hell that we're going to make the playoffs. There's no way that we're going to win out and sneak into the playoffs with 9 wins. I just don't see that happening. There's about 6 or 7 teams with 7 wins. So one of those playoff spots are going to go to them, and it's not going to go to the Raiders. But nevertheless, right now, we currently hold the 6th draft pick. We're going to talk about the draft order a little bit later on the video, but that's where the Raiders stand right now. So like I said, the Raiders had 2 weeks to prepare for this Minnesota Vikings team, and we weren't able to get no points. And I like to put this blame on 2 guys: our offensive coordinator, Bo Hardegree, and also our quarterback, Aidan O'Connell. What this game showed us, that we need a quarterback. Aidan O'Connell is not the guy. Like I've been saying in my previous videos, this guy stands like a goddamn statue. And he makes terrible reads. Also, he made a terrible decision by throwing it into the ground a few times. He got an intentional grounding, which pushed us back a few times and gave us a 2nd and long. I'm really over this Aidan O'Connell, Jimmy Garoppolo experiment. Josh McDaniels really fucked this team over by bringing in Jimmy Garoppolo, by drafting Aidan O'Connell, and having Brian Hoyer as the backup. It was clear that Josh McDaniels didn't know what the hell he was doing by bringing in these guys. And that's why I don't put this on Antonio Pierce. It wasn't his fault. The guys that have been playing are not his guys. He didn't pick these guys. He was thrown into the interim head coach spot, and he had to do the best with what he has. And quite frankly, I think he's answered the bell. His defense has been playing great. Lights out. I think I read today that we're only averaging 19 points per game given up on the defensive side of the ball. That's 11th best in the NFL. That is the best our Raiders have been on the defense in my lifetime. I think the best that the defense have been since then is 2007. I can't remember off the top of my head just how little points we gave up that year. But as of right now, this is one of the better defenses we had in a long time. Which brings me to my next point. Regardless of who the head coach is next year, we have to keep Patrick Graham as the defensive coordinator. This guy is really working numbers on our defense. Yes, the interceptions are not there, but certainly the sacks are there. He's really bringing in pressure from guys like Robert Spillane. Even Janoris Robinson got in there on a sack this week, and we just picked him off the practice squad this week. So that really shows you that Champ Kelly and Antonio Pierce really has a good eye for defensive guys. Even Jack Jones made a few plays on the defensive side of the ball. But you know what? He really messed up on that 3rd and long, and he gave up a first down and put the Vikings in field goal range. But like I said, I can't put this blame on the defense. They played lights out for 3.5 quarters. And when your offense continues to go 3 and out, punt, 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 you can't expect your defense to just always bail you out. And finally, they broke it, and the Vikings were able to score on a field goal. And how funny, right? Nick Mullins comes in, and he marches right down the field. I kind of had a feeling that he was going to end up scoring, because if you remember, the last time that guy played against the Raiders was on a Thursday night on short week notice against the San Francisco 49ers. That was John Gruden's first season back with the Raiders, and we lost 34-3, I think, that game. Nick Mullins was barely named the starter that day, and I remember saying, oh, this is going to be an easy victory. And sure as hell it wasn't. The Raiders got their asses kicked 34-3 that day. But like I'm saying, we cannot put this loss on Antonio Pierce. Yes, I know he's the head coach. He is the CEO of this team as of right now. But he didn't pick these players. It's not his fault that Colton Miller wasn't out there. It's not his fault that Andre James went out with an injury, and so did Josh Jacobs. And it's blatant that we don't have a running game. Josh Jacobs gets hurt, and we have no one to replace him. Amir Abdullah, he's a blocking back. Brandon Bolden, he's just a special teams player. And Zamir White, that guy is trash. I could see the Raiders releasing him this offseason with this new regime coming in. Regardless if it's Antonio Pierce or whoever it is, there's going to be an overhaul on that offensive side of the ball. And I've also been seeing a lot of people saying, hey, we're going to get rid of Devontae. We should just trade him in the offseason. Why? As of right now, the Raiders have the 6th overall pick. That's a guaranteed top quarterback. There's plenty of quarterbacks coming out this year. This is the best quarterback draft class since Joe Burrow, Tua, and Justin Herbert all came out in that draft. This is the best draft class since then. Might be even better with guys like Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix. Those are just 5 guys that I named. Not including Marvin Harrison, who's the best offensive player, not a quarterback. So those are 6 players. So like I said, the Raiders are guaranteed a top quarterback in this year's draft if we stay put. But that's neither here nor there. Before this Vikings game, I had us winning at least 4 of the next 5. And just judging off of our offense, I don't think we're going to get that. I honestly only see us winning 1 game, and that's the next game against the Chargers. Also Justin Herbert came out and got hurt last week against the Broncos. So we might just be able to beat this Chargers team, but who knows? Because Aidan O'Connell has definitely regressed since he came in. He's definitely regressed since his first start against the Chargers in week 3. So right now, it's really tough to be a Raiders fan. We got 5 wins. Our defense is playing lights out. Shout out to Max Crosby getting his 50th career sack. He's now the fourth player to get 50 sacks in his first 5 years. So big props to Max Crosby. That guy balls out every week. And another player I want to shout out is Tyree Wilson. He is really coming along these last few weeks. He got credited with a sack. He got a few tackles for loss this week, and he's really been coming into his own. This is the player that the Raiders expected to have. So I'm really excited to see him, in this next few weeks. Let's give him some run. I know Malcolm Kuntz has also been playing really good this year, so that's why Tyree Wilson hasn't been getting as many reps as he should be. But hey, I'm really liking what this defense is doing. Another player I want to shout out is Marcus Epps. My dog, the guy I saw 2 weeks ago in the bye week. He made a big play and took out Justin Jefferson. Once he came out, I thought, oh, they have no more offense. We're going to win this game. But we didn't have an offense. It was us. So like I said, guys, Aidan O'Connell isn't it. We have to go draft a quarterback in next year's draft in the first round. Right now we have the 6th pick. Who knows if we even move up and get a top 2 pick? Maybe go after a guy like Caleb Williams or Drake May. Those are the top 2 quarterbacks right now coming out. Personally, if everyone was available, my first pick would be Jaden Daniels. Then I would go Caleb Williams and then Drake May. I would stay away from Michael Penix and Bo Nix, but those are my top 3 quarterbacks coming into the draft next year. But like I said, we still got 4 games left. Anything can happen. The Raiders could, a light switch can go up in their head, and we could all of a sudden beat this team this week. It's being reported that Justin Herbert might not start, and Easton Stick is gonna start. That remains to be seen. We'll have to see. But as of right now, it's really tough to be a Raiders fan. We're continuing to lose. We're on a 3-game losing streak. Never did I think we were gonna get shut out at home. I'm really frustrated right now. It's been a really tough season. I predicted us to get at least 9 wins, and it doesn't look like we're going to get those many wins this year. So that's it for this video, guys. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments. Do you guys want the Raiders to tank and get a top 5 pick? I personally don't want us to tank. I want us to continue to build. But by the way we've been playing lately, I just can't see us winning any more games. But I'm always be optimistic. Come game day, I'm going to want us to win. But like I said, that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel. Let me know who you guys want the Raiders to draft next year, if it's a quarterback, because definitely Aidan O'Connell and Jimmy Garoppolo are not it. And until next time, Raider Nation, peace.